Just like that, we find ourselves close to the middle of the month, wondering how we got here so quickly. Episode 13 saw Nolan Redeker tie the bow on one of his best hunting seasons ever, tagging the 26-inch wide giant buck known as the Wide 9. Keying in on a location that has a high doe density was his ticket, and in the coming days, the plan for the rest of our team is simple. Find the does and we will find the bucks. With a tag still burning a hole in his pocket, back in eastern Kansas, November 12th finds Nolan Redeker back on stand, hoping to lay eyes on his season-long target, Deuce.
Oh, good morning, guys. It is an absolute beauty of a morning this morning. One of the mornings you dream up to hunt the rut. November the 12th, 18 degrees, feels like 9, about a 7-mile-an-hour wind out of the north. Just a beautiful morning, frost, heavy frost. So, making another effort for Deuce, or that other big A that's in here this morning. I've hunted him a lot of times, and I've seen Deuce back in October, but I think they just gotta be coming through here at some point. There's too many does, and we're getting them too often on camera surrounding this area that they've got to be using it. I guess I've just been unlucky to not see them when I've been in here. And I had a good hunt yesterday. Saw 6 bucks up here. One pretty good 8-point. I think he's probably a pretty mature deer. I went back and looked at the footage. Good looking buck. I definitely expect the deer to be moving. The wind's been blowing pretty hard. For the past 48 hours, it's finally slowed down. So, I'm excited for the sit, and hopefully we can lay eyes on a shooter.
While Nolan settles in, 275 miles to the east back in Iowa, team members Brooks Kehoe and John Lindstrom are set up on a piece of public land deep in the hardwoods.
Today is Saturday, November 12th. I have John Lindstrom behind the camera since he's already tagged out on a big non-typical. We're down here in southern Iowa on a piece of public land. John actually scouted it yesterday, saw a lot of good sign. So he was gracious enough to show me this spot. So we decided to come in this morning. It is very cold, probably 24, 25 with 10-mile-an-hour northwest wind. We got snow flurries right now, overcast. It just feels like a perfect day, but we're quite late setting up too, about 35 minutes late, but nothing's busted and we haven't seen anything yet. We think they'll come back late from the ag fields down on the bottom and work up, so feels like a good day. We'll hang out all morning here, and we're super excited, and hopefully a good buck comes by today.
While Brooks tries to brew up some action, back in Kansas, Nolan's hunt is gaining traction.
Well, another pretty incredible hunt. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to document everything I saw. I mean, there's just too much brush in the way, and I was just catching flashes of the deer, but I'd say there was several bucks on that hot doe that ran right through here that I did get on video. But unfortunately, once again, no shooters. It blows my mind, but somehow they continue to, I don't know, somehow I'm not seeing them. Gotta keep hunting hard and hopefully get a shooter in range.
Back on the public land ridge, Brooks is still trying to create his own luck.
It's about 9 a.m. right now. We've seen, oh, big buck, big hook. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a mature deer for sure. Do you see him? Okay. I'm gonna wait until he's out here. I'm on him. Okay. Smoked him.
Great shot.
Smoked him. Go down. Go down. He's done. He's done. Are you serious? Oh my God. What the heck? Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Dude, thank you. Oh my gosh.
So cool.
Yeah, this looks about right. Look at all the blood there. Huge pile there. Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of blood trail you want. He's pouring blood like we thought. He'll be right over this ridge down here, but kind of blood trail you want on a buck. Well, I can see the arrow sticking up, so I'm gonna assume he's under it. Wow. There he is. That's sweet. Jeez. That did a number on him. Holy crap. Didn't go far. Nice Iowa old 8-pointer. Big head on him. Burrs coming off the back. He'll do the trick, John. That's sweet. Thanks, dude. Well, here he is, my first Iowa public land buck. John went and scouted this spot yesterday and saw a lot of good rubs, and it just looked like a good spot. And I had one morning here to go out, and John said he could film, so he said, let's go to this spot and give it a go. And we saw a spike early before we even had the camera out, and then dead. Nothing until 9 a.m. And I looked at John, I was like,
let's do a quick interview and just kind of update on how the morning's going. Things could change real fast. And right when I started that interview, John says big buck, and here comes this old Bruiser right out of the bottom, comes in perfectly, 25-yard shot, and probably made the best shot of my life on a deer. So super happy, super thankful for John for doing the scouting and coming to film this morning. But my first Iowa public land buck, and I couldn't be happier.
You ready?
Let's do it, buddy.
That same day, Mike Reed is back on the hunt for Kelce.
Well, it's been pure chaos since we got to the base of the tree. We made it in clean, took our time walking up the ditch, got to the base of the tree, and I got about 3 rungs up, and I looked and I could see a chase coming. A doe and a fawn. There was a half-rack buck that we got pictures of behind them. And then they ran off to the east. So I got up here and I just looked back over, and the chase was coming back, but this time Kelce was with them. So Rye quickly switched the tree stand for my bow. I got my bow up here. Of course, I didn't have any screwed in, so I was trying to get my release on and the bow sling off and an arrow knocked, and they're standing there at 60 yards. Kelce's snort wheezing at that little buck. The little buck's, trying to stand his ground. Then we had a fawn and a doe and a 1.5-year-old, and the doe got about 3 yards from Rye. She looked at him and was kind of wondering what he was. That young buck came and chased her, and they ran off. But anyway, he ran that little buck off all the way to the east, and then they came flying back through and went off to the north. I was able to get the stand home, got up here, got everything set up. So hopefully that, they make a loop and come back through here. We've got a couple other deer that stood up. I mean, just pure chaos. We're on the edge of this bedding area, and the weather is pretty awesome. It's overcast, like I said, northwest wind. Pretty good wind. It's 30 degrees or so, feels like 20. Been spitting snow all day. So the plan almost came together. This is a spot where I feel like I can catch up with him. I just need a little bit of luck, but it's cool to see him for the 3rd time.
As Mike scans for Kelce to reappear, back in Kansas, Nolan Redeker is experiencing his own version of rut chaos.
Well, I'm back in the same stand I sat this morning, but for a good reason. I didn't originally plan to come back here for a couple days. But when I got done hunting this morning, I pulled down in the field to check the camera in my truck. I went to pull the card on the camera, and as soon as I get to the camera, I'm looking back in the timber. It's almost like we made eye contact. I saw Deuce. So I sat there and we kind of looked at each other for a couple minutes. I took some pictures with my camera. When I went to get back in the truck, a doe popped up, and they kind of just slowly jogged to the south, up into the timber. Haven't seen him since mid-October, but I had him on camera a bunch of times since then. And from where I'm at now, that would have been about 200 yards down the ridge, kind of on a flat, down to my west. I feel like I probably sound like a broken record saying Deuce over and over, but he's kind of in my head. I've never had a buck get under my skin like I have him. But I'm hopeful for this. At least I know Deuce has been in the area, and maybe I can get lucky and get him on the ground tonight. So, should be a fun hunt. We'll see what happens. Well, we're running out of daylight here. Don't have a ton of time left. Finally laid eyes on him, at least. It's good to know he's in this area. He didn't have a doe, so he's gonna be looking here. Gonna make it a tough decision for where to sit in the morning. Gotta stick after him. We are close tonight. Real close.
Back in Iowa, Mike continues to grind out the afternoon.
Broke his right G4.
It's a fresh break.
This has been some of the best consistent rutting activity that I've ever seen. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Pretty awesome night in the tree. We've had constant activity the entire time we've been here. Third encounter with Kelce. Another close call. We're gonna stick after him. I'm able to hunt the majority of the day tomorrow, so hopefully we can get him in bow range.
The following morning, November 13th, finds Mike Reed back in the same stand.
morning. Sunday, November 13th. Ryan and I are back in the same set we were in last night, this Beaver Pond set where I killed my buck on October 6th. We had Kelce at 60 yards. He's been in this central timber the last 2 days, and I'm hoping he's still without a doe, still running around. I think if that's the case, we should have a good chance of encountering him here today. Basically, big doe bedding area right in front of us. We can see a lot of it, so it's a good setup for calling. And we've got this little creek crossing right in front of us. A lot of deer just walk down this old farm road. It's cold again today. Northwest wind. The wind's pretty light right now. It's supposed to be 25 degrees or so with a real feel of around 18. It's a really high pressure day, so the sun should get up and lift our thermals up, and we'll see if we can't get Kelce in bow range.
As the deer begin to funnel back towards Mike's stand, back in Kansas, Nolan Redeker is deploying a similar strategy, hunting the same area as the day before.
Well, good morning, guys. It is another beauty of a rut morning this morning. About 19 degrees, and this is for the first time that we've had one of these cold mornings where there hasn't been much of a breeze, so it'll be fun to hear everything this morning, all leaves crunching. I encountered Deuce last night out of the stand that's just to my south here. Had a wind switch overnight to the south, so I decided to sit this stand this morning. With seeing him in here twice yesterday, once when I was checking the camera and once from the stand. Gosh, I couldn't keep from coming back. The main reason I came back after was because he did not have a doe last night. So I'm hoping he didn't find one. And he's going to be searching this morning. Should be a beautiful morning. I expect to see a lot of movement, hopefully. It'll be a fun hunt.
Laying eyes on the same big 4-year-old buck fuels Nolan's hope that Deuce is nearby. Back on the river farm, Mike's hunt pushes forward.
Might be him. I think it's him, dude. Yeah, it's him. That's encounter number 4, and that one certainly stings a little. I was just talking with Rye. It's actually noon, or 5 minutes till noon. You know, there's been a couple fawns, deer just bedded right here. They get up, they eat a little bit, and they bed back down. And Rye spotted a deer on the other side of the ditch over there, and I put it in the binos, and sure enough, I'm like, it's him. He's working his way through here. Most of the deer that have come through this year have just kind of circled wide, but he came to check out these bedded down fawns. And then he just was walking straight at the tree, and he actually made it into 45 yards, and we're not really set up for deer to come that direction. In fact, most deers I set this up for when there's water in the slough, and the deer don't really cross it. They come around the edge of it. Anyway, this year, with everything being so dry, we've noticed this pattern on these 4 or 5 hunts of deer, working this angle. Anyway, he was just walking straight to us, and like I said, we're not really set up for deer to come that direction, so our stands are sticking off this tree either direction, so we're sort of silhouetted, and we have a little bit of back cover with the other trees behind us, but it's not great, so it wasn't too hard for him to see that something was going on. A little surprising how strongly he reacted, but disappointing nonetheless. I've only got one more day to hunt before I leave for my elk hunt, and I was really hoping to get it done today, but that close.
Back in Kansas, Nolan has deer all around his stand.
While Deuce continues to escape me. It's crazy that he didn't come by. I saw him first to my south, and he looped down in the timber back here to my east, and he kind of got over a little bit of a hill, and I grunted. And he looped all the way back out in front of me, through the thicket in front of me, and then back down. Once he was up in the thicket, I grunted again. Then he I assume, tried to get downwind of the grunt. He went back to my northwest, and the wind is out of the southeast. Never acted nervous, never looked like he thought anything was wrong. He ended up going east. It's gonna be hard to not sit here all day because he could come back at any point in time. Gotta stay after him. Gosh, he continues to beat me. This deer's got me shaken up. It's exciting when you can chase a buck like this and play this cat and mouse game. But dang it, seems like I'm so close yet so far. Oh, got me a little shook up. Such a fun hunt though. Awesome day. Just a really fun hunt, so gonna stick after him.
Looked back over and the chase was coming back, but this time Kelce was with them. Just pure chaos. We're on the edge of this bedding area and the plan almost came together. This is a spot where I feel like I can catch up with him. I just need a little bit of luck.
He continues to beat me. This deer's got me shaken up. It's exciting when you can chase a buck like this and play this cat and mouse game. Gonna stick after him.
Well, here he is, my first Iowa public land buck, and probably made the best shot of my life on a deer. So super happy, super thankful for John for doing the scouting and coming to film this morning. But my first Iowa public land buck, and I couldn't be happier.
The lockdown phase can be hit or miss if you're not lucky enough to be in the area of the correct hot doe. Fortunately, our team has been engulfed in the action, seeing firsthand that it takes being out there to give yourself a chance. Brooks Kehoe reaffirmed that using calling during this time of the season can shift the advantage, tagging his first ever public land buck in Iowa with a perfectly placed arrow. Mike Reed's chase for Kelce continues to write new chapter after new chapter, and with an elk trip quickly approaching, the clock is beginning to tick. Nolan Redeker looks ahead refueled. After keying in on the funnel tucked next to a known doe bedding area produces multiple encounters with the chocolate-antlered Kansas Giant. We're right in the thick of it, and those with tags maintain a laser focus, determined to make the next few days count. After all it takes is the right trail to change the entire season. Every day is a new chance to make the phone call, letting good friends know that we can join in the celebration that comes with chasing November.